Sugar Honey Iced Tea podcast. We're back.
Woo woo for the
Woo
2021 on
woo.
that ass.
Yes. And we're bigger and better. Not only do we have audio, we actually have some visuals for that ass. Hello. Hello.
Here we
To
are
those that can hear us, hello. To those that can see us, hello.
in person.
In person. I'm Amber Marie.
And I am Christina Marie.
Yes, and we're
Welcome.
so happy to be back. Christina,
Most
how happy are you
definitely.
to be back?
I'm very happy to be back.
Me
I'm
too.
very happy to be back. It's been a long break, long while. We even look different. Let's just go ahead and call it out. The intro's different. It's a whole new intro to the
Everything is
show.
anew.
But if
Everything
you
is
look at the
anew.
cartoon in our cover, we obviously look a little different. We have a new style, which happens over time. You evolve,
Christina got
hopefully, as a
hair.
person. I have a whole head of hair. Okay, natural
Yeah.
hair. Here it is.
Yeah. I'm natural. I haven't actually used heat on my hair in going on 4 years.
Okay, okay. Curls is popping up under the beautiful head wrap
Yes,
we have going
listen.
here.
Mm-hmm. And I recently dyed my ends, so I got some color now too.
That's right. That's right.
So yes, yes, yes,
Yes, but
yes.
we're back.
We're back. So let's get started. Let's just jump into it because you know me and you'll just go on with the banter and just start rambling on.
Thank you for calling us out and keeping us accountable to stay on that ass. Real
Period,
friends.
point blank. Okay,
All right.
so recap.
Oh, let me just say real quick before we get
Okay.
into this. We do have new segments. I know from our previous episodes, for those of you who have listened or followed us, we had different segments, different topics that Amber and I would both bounce off of each other and talk about. Our show has a different format, so just follow along. Stay tuned.
Yes,
Follow
please,
our evolution and our growth. Excuse me, but
please. Because
dive
it's
in,
been
Amber. Go
three
ahead.
years, you
Yes,
know?
yes.
Yes, girl. Okay. Okay. So for our first segment, which is the recap, we
Hmm.
decided to recap 2020 in 2021 because
Everyone's favorite year.
oh my god, it has been a crazy ass last 12 months.
Yes. More than
Like
12
we're
months
not
because
even
even January and February was like we're still living through historical moments today.
well when did the first case of COVID hit last year?
It
Wasn't it
was
like
January.
around February? Was it January?
I think it was
But then
sometime in
everything
January.
shut down in March. But then everything shut down in March and it was an official pandemic like around
Hmm.
March, wasn't it? Yeah, so
Hmm.
we're not even quite at the official part. We're not even quite at the 12 months.
Well, no, we did hit the year. There was a post that said the first COVID death happened. So it was either sometime at the beginning of end of January or the beginning of February. So we are a year. The
Mm,
first case in
okay.
the U.S. was like in Seattle somewhere, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Child,
point is, it's been a long ass
it's been
time.
what? How long? Okay, wait. How long has it really felt? Like, has it felt like 12 months to you or has it felt longer?
Longer,
Yeah,
much longer.
no, for sure. It definitely
Hmm.
has felt way too fucking long.
Hmm.
And this
Hmm.
shit's still not over. Like, we're still dealing with this shit. It's wild.
Hmm. Hmm.
Anywho, so aside from COVID happening and there
Hmm.
being a pandemic like
Worldwide.
world
Worldwide.
fucking wide,
Everybody could, like, nobody was escaping this fuck shit. Like,
nobody was escaping it.
nobody.
I mean, niggas really like, listen, I was one of these niggas, okay? Niggas is
Hmm.
me. I am niggas.
I am niggas.
Panic shopping.
Yeah.
Did you
Oh, yeah.
panic shop?
Yes, I definitely did. For me, I guess, yeah, the last time we recorded, I was still working in the cannabis industry, which I still am. So my job turned into an essential job. So for me, I had to be out, but I did still, panic shop. And it wasn't so much like a lot of toilet paper, which I already had,
What
but
did you
it was
get?
just like dry goods and food items, I just didn't want to go into a store for a while. Like I already had to go out for work and I already deal with like terrible ass anxiety and like paranoia. So I was just like freaked out by it. So like having to go out to work was enough. I was like, when I go to the store, I'm gonna have to make sure I can get shit that I can work with, like oatmeal, dry beans,
Hmm.
spaghetti, shit like that, stuff like that.
Yeah.
What were you getting? What was you making a move for?
So first, let me just tell you, like I panicked all the way. I flew my brother and my niece out to Atlanta
Mhm.
because no, y'all need to be here with me.
Mhm.
Cause you just
Mhm.
didn't know what was like what it was, like what was gonna happen and stuff. I was like, no, y'all need to
Right.
be out here with me. Excuse me. So did that, and that's like when I was living with my cousin, like we were living together and stuff. So, um, yeah, we got toilet paper and toilet tissue, but we were usually always like pretty good at stocking up
Mhm.
that. We
Mhm.
went and got a
Yeah.
deep freezer
That.
and filled it with meat because we didn't have one. So like that's
Mhm.
the type of shit we went and bought, like a deep freezer, packed that up with meat, with frozen goods and everything, made sure like even down to the point where I got milk and put it in the deep freezer. And they were looking at me like and bread. And they're like, can you? And I'm like, yes, because I used to do it when we was younger.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yes, you
Yes.
can. So whatever I could get and like anything like coloring books, like just activities. We went and got games, like just
Okay.
anything like to where it's like we really did not have to leave the house.
That was the ultimate goal. Like I just needed to have a little bit of everything or a lot of bit of some stuff or make room for it. You're just gonna have to change the way we're living for a minute, and
For real.
realign, readjust priorities and where we're gonna, be at and what
Fill
we
up the
need to
gas tank.
survive.
Did you fill up your
hmm
gas tank?
I was still working. Like I'm
Oh, you
still
were
out
still
here.
working. You
Like
did say that.
I'm just out here being essential. My company actually had to give us um, official letters with the company letterhead on it which I'm sure we're going to get into, but once we went into another lockdown as far as everything that was going on with the Black Lives Matter movement and just the killings that were happening, there was a lot happening here in Denver. And yeah, we had like special letters just in case we ever get pulled over or be out after hours past curfew. And that's when that got serious. So I was really just like, I really don't want to be out here, but
No, for
anyway.
sure.
hmm
Perfect segue into some other shit that happened next.
Yeah.
Cops is still killing niggas with no consequence. That happened a lot, as it usually does, a lot. But this time, I feel like niggas is for real tired because
hmm
then the protests started happening. Shit, even fucking, I feel like that was happening worldwide too, because it was Black Lives Matter was happening in other countries as well. So international, I'm not gonna say worldwide, but internationally,
Definitely,
um,
definitely.
as well. No, for sure.
hmm
Um, like fed up, niggas is fed up.
Tired. It's
Like
just,
putting,
I think George Floyd's having to see that video. I didn't watch it. I don't watch them. Yeah, I just can't. Just because for me, I know there's some people who can just watch certain types of videos that are a bit more graphic and not really affect them. But once I see something, it's like, for anyone, you can't unsee that. And it just stays with me. And I end up having nightmares about it or thinking about it constantly. And not saying that I'm not, but I just visually cannot see it. And so that one, I don't know. And Breonna Taylor, still out here
yeah,
arrest the killers who killed Breonna Taylor. That,
just
as a Black
period.
woman, I'm sure for you and just other Black women out there, I know, that one. Yeah, I'm just.
Yeah, it's still, yeah.
hmm
Before we get triggered and just go to the
I'm
place
like,
let's
because
go
I
next.
feel the
So
tears
listen,
coming, and
yeah.
I'm not the best with words. Let me put that out there. There's some things that I have a hard time conveying, getting that message across, especially in regards to something like that. It's just, you know, seeing your own or relating to her, looking at her, realizing like
Hmm.
that could be my cousin, that's my friend, that's my sister, that's me. Like, you know.
Just a
it's
regular
so
degular
hard.
girl, like, you know what I'm saying, who's just trying to be better and do better,
Mhm.
and just yeah. Um, what else happened was it was an election year, okay,
Mhm.
and America spoke, and we had to get that incompetent motherfucker up out of that motherfucking Oval Office, okay? So
I
that
just
happened. I did not. I will say that I did not follow the elections
Mhm.
like that because I was already stressed with being in a pandemic and also like still working and stuff too that I
Mhm.
just didn't need that added stress.
I followed some of it, but like you, it was just already a lot going on. And it's just
Mhm.
like we've already had to deal, have 4 years dealing with this stupid bitch. And I was just ready for the shit to come to an end. Like, I really hope that you motherfuckers have really, you know, I hope it's hit you in some way. Like it has personally affected you to where you are going to make a different decision and let's get him on out of here. And not to
Mhm.
say that we are all going so hard and caping for Joe Biden because he's all for us. However, after seeing how 2020 was handled in general, how he handled the pandemic and how over 400,000 people have lost their lives because of the lack of humanity or caring and just being a leader, it's like we can't live like this anymore. And I really hope that
Mhm.
you all who voted for him or feel like we're losing America, we're losing our country. I hope that, yeah, it's not worth it.
Mm-mm.
Fuck him.
No, for real.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Um, what else happening? It was a lot. I think there was a lot that also has happened. TikTok became like the app
Mm-hmm.
to have. There was Clubhouse. These apps really took over. I think also not, um, to mention before I get to 2021 is we saw how resilient we are as a people,
Mm-hmm.
and how
Mm-hmm.
creative everybody could get, even with being caught up. And I think, I know a lot of us like hate the internet and probably hate like social media because we realize the effects that it actually has on us mentally and, the influence that it has on this society, whether it be in a positive form or a negative form. But in
Mm-hmm.
this instance, it was still it was a positive because was a way to, even though you're being forced to isolation in your own homes, you're able to still communicate
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
with, anyone around the world
Mm-hmm. With
because
apps
of it.
like Zoom, FaceTiming, and things like that, it's like we're gonna have to make this
Motherfuckers
work and
Zoom. Yeah.
adjust. Even though I'm sure a
Hmm.
lot of us we're on Zoom right now, but I'm sure
Yes.
a lot of us are zoomed out. I've even been seeing lately that a lot around this time, a lot of people are having that like pandemic crash to where everyone's tired of being locked up. I feel like a lot of it has to do with the season that we're in as well. It's like it's winter time.
Hmm.
It's 1 degree here in Colorado, one singular degree here in Colorado, and it's snowing right now. And it's just like I've already been in the house. I look outside the window and the weather is shit. Like I hate the snow. I like to look at it, but also we've been in the house for damn near a year, and it's just a lot of people are having that crash. So
Yeah.
having to find ways to keep ourselves motivated and keep pushing through and just,
Hmm.
yeah, like you said, just be creative.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I'm there. Hmm.
2021, we started off with some fuck shit. Well, first,
Six
we
days,
did
six
start
days of the new
off
year.
6 days into it.
Hmm.
White people decided to overtake a federal building, and initially there was no consequence initially. They were
I'm
embarrassed
honestly
later
still not seeing
on,
a lot of
but
consequences happening right now. So,
right, aside from them being banned from taking flights and stuff and all that, like who knows? But when I say consequence, if it was black or brown people, then we know that that would have been
a completely different
a
outcome.
completely different outcome. We know that for sure.
Hmm.
So that we started off with that. Um, Georgia did turn blue though.
Shout out to y'all. For those of y'all who don't know, Amber's
I was
down
a
in
part of
Atlanta. If y'all
that.
haven't caught that yet, but she is a
I was
part of
a
that.
part of that, cuz.
Yes, yes,
Yes.
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 Mhm.
So
Black people
we
coming
did.
through. Black women coming through
Yes, come
again
on.
to save
Yes.
y'all's asses. Here the fuck we are, just tired of it.
No, we not, because we superwoman. Uh at least we think we are. Um
Yeah.
yes, we got a new president, of course, officially on January 20th.
Hmm.
And an icon became an ancestor, Cicely
Hmm.
Tyson.
Hmm.
2 days after her book release.
Hmm.
Yeah. And
Hmm.
that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, so much more has happened, and we've lost others. Definitely rest in peace, Kobe Bryant, and
That
just
was
so
in
many legends.
2020, huh?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yo, it's been,
Yes. Mhm.
oh my God, we dealt with a lot.
A lot. We've lost so many, but
We
yeah, here
have.
we are. Here we are.
Here we are.
Here we are. I know. I started there. What were you gonna
No, I was gonna say that's our somber ass recap.
say? Yeah. But to be honest, I know it's been a lot lately, I guess, for me to transition into our new other segment, titled Lessons from Therapy. I started in therapy last year in June. I had been to therapy before, but my therapist at the time had retired. And obviously, dealing with 2020 and my own personal shit, it was just like, okay, time to take this serious, find a therapist that's going to work for me. I personally wanted a Black woman. Like that was all I wanted. And I found a therapist. They ended up pairing me. I have services that are called EAP, Employee Assistance Program. So your company basically will pay for a few lessons, or not lessons, excuse me, sessions
Hmm.
with a therapist. And so at the time, it's been hard to find a therapist because a lot of people were starting to get in because it was just like dealing with the pandemic, being locked up. And here in Colorado, there's not a lot of Black women in that field. And they paired me with this white man, and I was just like, I don't think that this is going to work for me. So I definitely found a therapist, and I've just been so happy. I know you have been in therapy, you've been doing a lot of work, which brings us to this show and what we're talking about and all that. But for lessons for therapy, we're Amber and I are going to be sharing a few different gems and lessons that we've picked up throughout our different therapy sessions. I go weekly. How often do you go? Like, how are your
Weekly.
sessions? Weekly?
Weekly. Yep.
Okay. And like hourly sessions for you?
Hmm.
Okay,
50
cool.
minutes. 50 minutes.
Yes. Me too. Me too. Should be cutting it off right before then, like, all right. And I'm like, wait, 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 wait,
But
wait.
hold on.
Hold on. I'm a little nervous about this. But I don't know. It just really is. I needed to be in therapy for sure. And I just recommend that after dealing with 2020, everyone should be in therapy. Like, it was some heavy shit that we've had to deal with. A lot of us also just had to sit with ourselves and realize it's hard for us to just sit with our feelings and with ourselves and in silence or just alone, cut off from the world. And so for me, my lesson from therapy, which my therapist keeps reminding me, is to give myself some grace. I think
Hmm.
as Black women, we can be really hard on ourselves culturally, things that were taught, things that we've seen from the women that raised us. And I just have always felt like there's just been so much on my shoulders, and I've been super upset with myself and beating myself up all the time. And just, I really talk bad about myself. Like, you think people, like, I've heard people talk bad about me, but it's like, please, you don't even know me. Like, the way that I go in on myself and really tear myself down, and it's just not healthy. And so she always reminds me at the end of our calls, like, give yourself some grace this week. And I'm like, okay. And she's had to tell me this multiple times because it takes time to unlearn a lot of old habits and lot of toxic. I hate to use the word toxic. I feel like it's used a lot, but it's a lot of toxic thought patterns that have been instilled in us since we were young girls. And it's just like a lot of us didn't have that chance or opportunity to really be just a child and just grow up, because it
Mhm.
was just like, as a Black woman, you got to do this, you got to do that, you need to carry yourself like this, you got to hustle, you got to, you can't be emotional, you got to be hard. And I guess for me, that was like what I was taught. I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that. But over time, as she keeps telling me this, it's really starting to sit with me. And the moment that I really want to go in about myself because I didn't get up at this time or I didn't get this done, it's like, girl, you are in a pandemic. You are like, it's been a year. You've had a lot of shit going on in your personal life on top of that. It is okay. You can
Mhm.
get like, go ahead and get it done now and don't overthink it and don't do that. So I know for me, it's just like, remember to give yourself some grace and love on yourself. Like,
Yeah.
it's okay, girl, I don't know how, if you feel you have to give yourself more grace and really forgive yourself,
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
something that I'm still working on.
it's hard.
Yeah. And the loving yourself. That is, I've shared with you before, like I'm exploring like what does that mean? Especially that L word. Like to
I
me right
remembered your
now
text. I'm sorry.
that you still ain't responded to, I guess you don't want to be a part of my passion project.
I love you.
Such a nigga. Um,
Okay. But yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I just had to tell you
no,
that.
just like what is that? What does love really like? What does it mean? And that's actually the question with my passion project and whatnot. But even like just for myself, like what does it mean to love myself? Like you always hear people like, oh, practice self love and love yourself, but like, what does that mean? What does it look like? What does it feel like? And I don't know. And I have so much trauma that
Mm,
I deal with and things like that I didn't learn and toxic behaviors that I like grew up with that I am oblivious to even like what that looks like. So now I'm just at a point where I'm just trying to figure that out for sure.
mhm,
For
mhm.
sure. So
Yes. Give yourself some grace, Amber. Love on yourself. And I really appreciate and love that you are, taking the time to redefine what that or define what that means for you and setting your own definition and standards and applying that to self,
mhm.
because you deserve more than anything.
Thank you. I receive.
So
I'm practicing. I receive that. Thank you.
I love that because you told me that the other day in a text message. Oh, when I told you about you coming up with things for us.
Yeah,
And you said, I received that compliment. And I was like, I love that because it's so hard sometimes,
it
again,
is.
like as a Black woman to accept compliments. Like you gotta, like if somebody's like, oh, that's a cute outfit. Oh, this whole thing, or it's just like, just say
Yeah.
thank you. Just say thank you.
I
I
did.
received that.
I received that. Thank you.
You're welcome,
I
friend.
do. I do.
Yeah. So do you have a lesson from therapy that you would like to share with the good people?
Yes, I do. My lesson from therapy, one of them that I've learned is that you have to be honest.
Mm,
Like honest with not only yourself but the therapist and talking about it. Like you can't go in there trying to frame situations so it benefits you. Like
mm,
you actually have to be honest. Like this is what I was thinking, and not be ashamed of it, or just
mhm,
feel any type of guilt because I feel like that's when people are dishonest because it's either they feel ashamed or they feel guilty about something.
mhm,
But like when you're in therapy, it's a safe space. So just be honest because you can't. How are you going to work on? Not you. Sorry. I realize how am I gonna work on something or evolve or heal from anything if I'm not honest about
mhm,
how I am or about what I've experienced. Like, how is this professional going to help me if I'm not honest with her about my feelings or lack thereof, or my thought patterns or thought process or situations that happen? And I'm just constantly like pinning everything on everybody else, like, or anything, or just trying to be surface level with everything.
mm.
So you just gotta I just realized, you just gotta be honest.
I think too with that, when you said be honest with the therapist, you're trying to frame situations to make yourself look like the good guy when you're maybe explaining something with a friend
Mm-hmm.
and you were in the wrong, but you try to position it in a way it's like, well, she did this, so maybe, it makes me look like the good guy. But it's like a part of that is accountability, accepting
Mm-hmm.
accountability. It's like you have to tell your therapist the honest truth so that way you can hold yourself accountable. Like I had a couple weeks of situations where I was like getting into with people, our situations were escalating. And so we
Mm-hmm.
started to talk about my anger and like how I need to take some sort of accountability. Why does that sound so weird coming out? But accountability for myself and the actions that that I took part in certain situations. Like, but what did you do? What could you have done different? And for at the end of the call, she could tell that I was getting really irritated and frustrated and it wasn't that she was being rude or tearing me down as a person. Because I don't want there's some people who are afraid to go to therapy because of that. She was just holding me accountable and I didn't like that. So I was pushing back and trying to fight her on it. And then by the next week, I was like, you were right. I probably do have a bit of an anger problem, or I do have a little bit of I snap real, like it doesn't take much for me. You told me actually, now that I think about it, you asked me one day, and I laugh about this all the
I'm
time.
gonna be like, yeah, I remember this situation,
Do you
but
know
I'm
what
like, no,
you had
but
asked me if I had eaten. You were like, did you eat yet? Or something like that. Cause you were like, and I asked you why. You were like, cause you were like, you were on it. Like I had a bit of an attitude and I was short. And you were like, yeah, you need a Snickers or you need to make sure that you eat. Cause when you don't, bitch, you be like,
listen, when Christina doesn't eat or she is sleepy, this the bitch comes out. Just last
I'm not.
week, she got this whole fucking attitude. Mm. For those on YouTube, okay, for those watching this on YouTube and stuff, she was like, okay, okay. Like her whole demeanor, her aura, like all of that. So I'm literally like, hey friend, you okay? Like,
You
yeah, I
cool?
mean, I'm tired. Like, and this is literally like her, yeah, I mean, I'm tired. Why do you keep asking me that? Like, damn.
No, because you said cheer up, and I was like, I'm good. I'm just
I
tired.
said cheer out up at the end though. I'm talking about the beginning. Yeah, so let me get to that. So then we get through our
Stop.
meeting. We get through our meeting. And at the end, I'm just like, damn, like, because in my head, I'm like, damn, I know she said she's tired, but it just seemed like more was wrong because I'm like,
Are
it's
you
not
you
this,
cool?
Christina. Like what you're hearing and seeing right now, it wasn't this. So, and this is what I'm used to, And I'm like, all right, friend. And I just was like, all right, friend. Well, cheer up. I mean, I'm just tired. I gotta like, damn. Okay, point proven right there. Like your reaction just from me just saying cheer up. You really kind of fucking attitude.
Woo!
I was like, damn.
Listen, I'm tired. Like I'm hungry. Like I'm hangry. Like
Listen,
I need to eat. I need to
if
smoke, and I need to
she
sleep.
doesn't, yes, like so we have to keep her fed, well rested, and high.
Bitch, don't talk about me like you're. As long as she has all that going, she's cool.
We good, okay?
She's good.
We are
She's good.
good.
But see the point. The thing is, I hate you. We gonna talk after this. That's after party. But yeah, it's just taking accountability of like your own actions and realizing like it doesn't make you a bad person. It's part of your growth process and it's part of the unlearning process. It's like, okay, I don't actually have to be that girl. I can actually count to 10 or I can breathe and I can walk, get through certain situations without having to go there. There are some situations and moments that do call for that. And I was telling her, I was like, listen, I don't have a lot of time. I don't have a lot of patience. I don't take a lot of bullshit. I asked you this question. I asked you that was the situation. I was asking this girl a very direct question and she was getting smart. And I'm like, bitch, I'm not the one. Like, who are you talking to? Like, all right, cool. And she was right up the street. And I was like, I was so ready to hop in my car and go pull up on her. And I'm like, why am I like going there? Like, I don't got to be that girl. I'm trying to be at peace and I'm gonna stay on that ass, but like, don't take me there. You know what I'm saying? They just be trying to take you
Cause
there. And
I
it's
can
like,
go
hold up,
there, bitch.
because I can go there. But anyway, we hope that the lessons from therapy, they can be fun. This is the thing. Like, it doesn't always have to be so, dark or sad or whatever. It's like we can take these lessons and apply them to our lives, make it fun, relate these lessons back to certain stories of our lives or certain situations and moments, and say, oh, okay, all right.
Yep.
So
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks.
You're welcome.
Next. Who's next?
Oh no, boom.
Wait, how does that little Betsy TikTok? Who's next?
Who's next? Who's next is Drops of Joy. So, Amber and I have decided to take a little piece of our show and have our own little corners and moments. And I have decided for the moment that this is going to be Christina's Drops of Joy, Sprinkle of Joy. And I think because so much of my life has been a bit negative, and again, negative self-talk is like, now I'm in this transition in this place where I want to share joy, and there's just so much out there. Like, there are good people out there. There are so many moments throughout our days, throughout our lives, even through quarantine, that can really bring us so much joy if we take the moment to step back and really just appreciate what we have and say, like, this is sort of like something my therapist told me, but like, instead of saying I have to, say I get to. It's like, oh, it's more joyful. Like, it's not I have to go to work, it's I get to go to work, or I get to do this, because a lot of people look at the unemployment rate, don't get that opportunity, and shit is very sad right now. So this is my drop of joy, where I just want to come bring different things. It may range from food, songs, music, moments that happen, something I've seen, or something that I just want to share with you guys. And I hope that you all are able to apply it throughout your week, your life, or just kind of reflect on your my drops of joy that I shared, or some mainly like something in your life. Like, find something that's just so happy and so great for you. Like, a drop of joy right now is that I am so happy Amber found her background. And here's why. And I literally just thought about this as I'm staring at you, because like, I know that it makes you happy, and it's something that you wanted to, like, that's personal to you in your segments and in your life and things like that. And it's like, oh, this is just perfect for me. Like, this is good for me. And I like green and I like plants. And so I want a green background. So that's just like a drop of joy. But this week's drop of joy is going to be, I appreciate fucking desserts. And like, throughout quarantine, like, I have had dessert every night for the past like 2.5, 3 months. And I really need to be having a much better diet. And like, it's so important to me now, but it brings me so much joy at the end of the night. And it's like little things like that. Like, we're not able to travel and go out to eat as much. Not here in Colorado. I know Atlanta's open. Y'all on different type of time. Rona out there doing different things than it is here in Colorado.
We wide open. Okay, letting everybody raw dog this.
you know? But I don't get to go out to eat, and I don't get to do the things that I used to. And I like to eat good. So like, I really am into Oreos and making all these different desserts, and like the little tortilla hack on TikTok. That shit is popping over here. I had 2 packs of tortillas in my fridge just so I can make them. I showed Amber the other day and I was too hyped. But yeah, drops of joy this week is desserts. Like, find your thing that you like, your like meal, like maybe dinner, or like making like a good bread, or like a really good coffee drink is like your thing. Get like the tools necessary to make that coffee and make it so good and make it part of your day. Like, I got a frother, and I like make these coffees, these iced coffees I've been showing Amber. And like, today's coffee was so fucking delicious, and I made it quick and it was simple. And I'm like, yes, drop of joy.
So I'm gonna be making those soon.
Let's do it on FaceTime so that like I can like we can do it together.
Yeah. To your point, like with that too, with your advice on your drop of joy,
Yeah.
um, I went to the
I
thrift store recently and I told you I got that risotto book, 100 ways to make risotto.
mhm.
Did I tell
I
you
wanna
that?
learn I wanna learn
It
how to
was
make risotto though.
75 cents. It was 75 cents. So
Boom,
now
come
one
up,
of my
ho.
things, because I got all the cookbooks, right? So
Mhm.
now one of my things I haven't yet, and it's been a week since I've actually had this cookbook, but I want to learn how to make risotto. Probably not, I was flipping through it, probably not all of the 100 ways, because some of those just did not seem
That's not
appeasing
for me.
to me. Like, mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. No, no, no.
Mm-mm.
So, but a lot of those did. So that's actually going to be like one of my things. And maybe I'll do that tomorrow for Self Care Sunday. So,
Yeah.
because I truly get to actually have a self care Sunday tomorrow,
Yes,
which I'm
yes. I
happy
wanna
about.
make an amaretto cheesecake with the strawberry syrup on top.
Yeah, you told me that.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes,
Yes, yes,
yes.
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 Well,
So
thank
thank
you
you
for
for
those
coming
drops of
to
joy.
Christina's Drops of Joy.
Sprinkles of joy. All right, and now we're into my segment, and my corner is going to be called Amber's Planet. That's because I be in my own world and my own little planet doing my mind is just everywhere, and this is why my background just fits me so much, like with the trees and the stars and the night sky, because that's actually one of the things, one of my favorite pastimes I would say is um, stargazing. I remember actually when I was younger, we lived in Montbello. We had a
Mhm,
house, and I
mhm.
would take the screen off of my window and climb up on
The roof.
my roof with a
Yes.
blanket and just like look into the sky. Like I
That's
still love
chill.
stargazing. Like it's just
It's
so
relaxing.
calming. Like it is very relaxing. Like
Mhm.
it is so relaxing. So over here in my planet it is the same as Christina. Like I didn't, she talked about it in hers, but it just really didn't want to pin myself down to one
Mm,
specific topic,
mhm,
um, especially since I'm doing a lot of evolving and learning of myself and doing a lot of unlearning. So who knows, I can't. And on top of that, I have an ADHD. So it's hard for me just
mhm,
to focus on one thing anyway. So
mhm,
yeah, I'm just going to be focusing on multiple things. It just depends on what's going on in my life. Like right now on the Amber's Planet, what I am learning, aside from what we're going to get into in our main topic, is I'm a new mom.
mhm.
I've officially, actually, today been a mom for a month.
Okay. Happy
Yes,
1 month anniversary.
yes, I am the mother to Haven Hakeem Mitchell, who was born October 20th, 2020.
You said that's the
22nd,
wrong. I was like,
October 22nd.
bitch, you
Yeah,
better get it
because
right.
October 20, my bad. Damn, I was thinking 2020. October 22nd, 2020, the same day as my lovely co host, Christina Marie.
Okay, that's why y'all see me going off getting mad because that me and Hakeem had the same birthday. Okay, little
Yes,
Haiti.
yes, he is a gray French bulldog. And, it's been a lot. Like, I actually had to talk about being a dog mom in therapy recently because, like, the training part and my patience level, like, I deal with anger issues too, which I'll talk about later, but I've been
Hmm.
like, oh my God, like, there's been several times in this past month where I'm like, all right, I'm about to either sell this motherfucker or she going back. Like, one
Can't
or
do
the
it.
other, and I did start just to be completely vulnerable and transparent. I did also start anytime he did anything that was quote unquote bad. Um, I would like just leave him in his cage, and I dealt with that as like a child and stuff. Like if my mom didn't want to like deal with me, like or deal with us,
Mhm.
it was that. So I noticed that I was within this month, mind you, it's just been a month. Noticed that I was
Mhm.
kind of parenting him the way that I was parented, which
Mhm.
was not good, which is shit I'm trying to heal from. So
Mhm.
um, even like one of the things in therapy that my therapist asked, because I was talking to her about me parenting him,
Mhm.
and I'm like in just my patience level, which my patience with him is actually getting way better.
Mhm.
Um, but she was like, "What do you say when he doesn't like poop or pee on the pads?" And I was like, I pop him and I say, "You're a bad boy, bad boy, bad boy." And she was like, "Okay." She literally
Mhm.
like, "Okay." So
Let's talk about it.
she said, "Try this." She said, "Try to just tell him, like, don't say he's bad because then you're sending the message that, like, he's bad when he's not. It's what he did is
Mhm.
bad. So just try to
Mm.
reword it and rephrase it as, like, what you did or what you're doing is bad, not you're bad." And she was like, "So maybe that will also even help you with reparenting yourself, because that's something else, which again we'll get to in the next segment,
Yes, we
but
will.
is reparenting and like what that looks like. So yeah,
So it's more of the
excuse
action.
me,
I like
sorry.
that. Even as you think
It
about
is.
yourself, it's more not you the person, not you as a whole person are bad. It's more of the action or, what led you to that. I mean, if human child, what led you to that? What actions brought you there? And, let's discuss that, but not to put you, you know, completely down. Excuse me. I like that.
Yeah, no, for sure. So that's
Yeah,
what's going on
I
in
also
Amber's
have a
Planet.
nickname. Huh?
I said that's what's going on in Amber's Planet. Oh, you do have a nickname for my baby.
Yes, I have my own nicknames. For his name is Haven. First name's Haven. I call him Young Havy, Young Haven on the beat.
Hmm.
Have, Have. I'm just gonna have all the nicknames. You know how we do.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
you know
yeah.
how it goes.
Listen, already my little nickname for him is Bud Bud. I'm like, "Come on, Bud Bud, come on, Bud Bud,"
That's my birthday twin. So
and
we're
he
gonna
just
be
be putting his
celebrating,
ears up.
right? We're gonna be celebrating our birthday together. It's my birthday twin. So
Yeah, and it's about to be lit. And
Haven and Christina.
if we're still in this pandemic,
Please don't. No, because that's in October. And this is today, y'all,
we're
just so
gonna
y'all
do a
know,
party
today's
via
February
Zoom.
13th. No, we're not going to be in a pandemic by then. Please, Lord, please, just let's not even speak that into existence, okay? Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not
Okay,
nice. That's ugly.
okay. You rebuke it, huh?
I rebuke that. Keep that over there. Keep that energy over there. But yes, Amber's Planet. I love Amber's Planet.
Thank you.
So we'll be having
All
different things
right.
and different topics from you.
Yes.
Cool.
So,
Looking forward to it.
okay. Now, our main topic, or I would say, our little deep dive. We don't actually have a name for this segment, but this is the meat of the sandwich.
There you go.
Whatever you want to call it, the meat of the sandwich, the burger, whatever you want to call it. We will, Christina. We will be, since we're recording or posting shows bi-weekly and stuff. Each of us, you'll get to kind of hear from each of us once a month at least. So I'll take an episode. Christina will take an episode. So just to start us off,
Hmm.
I get the honor to start us off on this inaugural relaunch.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so Christina, it's been 3 years, over 3 years really, if you want to get technical.
True.
It's been over 3 years.
Hmm.
And we as humans, we are ever evolving. Ever.
Hmm.
There's no that I believe. I don't feel like there's a point that you get to and it's like, oh, I made it here. Like we're constantly like ever evolving. So, um,
Hmm.
let's take a deep dive into where we're at in this moment in time, whether it be mentally, spiritually, physically, where you're at in your life, and where you're at, like, on your healing journey as well.
I'm like, okay, it's been a long time. It's been a long time, and a lot
For
has
those that
happened.
cannot see us, like, you should just see her looking like, bitch.
All right,
Um,
here we
okay, we're gonna
go.
do this. All
All
right.
right, we're doing it. Yes, it's been a long time. A lot has changed. A lot has happened. Um, I think for me, for right now, I will speak to more recent times. And definitely over time throughout the show, like Amber said, we'll each have a episode that we'll take and you'll get to hear from us. I definitely will be going deeper into my personal story and my healing journey and all the, a lot of things, not all the things. Some things need to remain private, but there's a lot that I will talk more about. But for right now, as far as my healing journey goes, I think right now, since being in therapy, like I said, since June, I've only gone to therapy via, virtually. So I haven't really met my therapist. It's been different. That's been interesting as well as getting to know my therapist and her being someone who knows so much about me. And I've never met her in person. It's sometimes weird, but right now I'm in a stage of really starting to appreciate who I am as a person. And I think I've done that before, but I really haven't understood who I was as a woman and like understood how my mind works. And I'm still learning that. Like, that's going to be a whole life journey. Like, every day I'm going to be learning more things about myself. But I'm really appreciating like my personal appearance, like even my physical body. Last night, so tomorrow's Valentine's Day, and like sometimes I get these ideas like really late at night where I'm like, oh, I want to put together a look and I want to try this technique or try this and see how it comes together. So like I have something planned for tomorrow, and what I decided to wear is like outside of the norm for me. And I was very nervous to even just try on this outfit. I put on my pajamas and I'll like sometimes stand backwards in the mirror so I don't have to look at my body. And now I'm getting more comfortable with just like really looking and appreciating just my whole naked body. And so I tried on this look and I was like, oh, it's not as bad as I thought. And like I was just happy that, that happened. But even appreciating things that I like genuinely enjoy. I think there have been things that like you're sort of taught that you have to like this or do this or be a part of that. And, and it's like, but I actually don't. Like, I have things that I like that may not be culturally cool. I don't know. And I'm like appreciating that. Like, I don't care. Like, I want to take more of a deep dive into that art form and learn more about that and seek those who look like me who may be in that area because there are. And so, yeah, just like loving and appreciating Christina, like really appreciating her at this stage in her life and forget, like I said, from lessons of therapy, taking it back full circle, just forgiving myself for things that I did not do or did do. And it's like, but all of those things make you who you are today. And you've learned from those things. So we're not going to repeat those things anymore and just continue on in this journey and just accept you for who me for who I am, I guess. It's
Yeah,
been a
so
part of it.
what, from what you had said, I'm curious, from what when you said that you're learning to love and appreciate yourself, like what actions have you taken to show yourself appreciation?
Um, What actions? That's a good question, Amber. My God. Actions, I think, like, it's the little things that make a difference for me. So, um, like, I haven't had this much hair in a long time, and so in that natural hair, and there was a short period of time where I really wasn't taking care of my hair the way that I needed to, and so now I've like been taking care of my hair, keeping natural styles in, and it's been growing so much. And so like something like that is just like made me like super happy. Enjoying the foods that I'm eating and like really being intentional with that, I guess.
Mhm.
And just really researching more about the things that I'm genuinely interested in. Like that for me is showing myself self-love because I'm no longer depriving myself of those things. And yeah, even drinking more water. Okay. I have gallons of water that I keep by my desk and I've been killing those. And that is just like showing myself love, like the things that I'm literally intaking into my life. And look, now I'm just like exploring this as I'm talking, but even the things that I listen to and the things that I'm viewing, like I used to go on some websites or watch certain things on TV. I have learned how to cut those things off immediately. Like I used to have to wean myself off of certain things. And now it's just like that if it no longer is serving me or I'm not getting anything out of it, I don't need to watch this anymore. I don't need to listen to this anymore. I don't need to visit those sites. I don't need any of that bullshit because it does
Mhm.
like I personally find myself like reality shows. That's one of the main things that I'm talking
Girl.
about. And so I sorry I have to change my AirPod. I no longer watch any shows on Bravo. And so I really used to be into like Real Housewives. And after I watched a season, like a reunion season for that just aired, I just like it's like this is just like isn't for me anymore. And it's nothing, about the women in the show. It's just I think the networks and it's just not for me. It just doesn't serve me anymore. And I don't like the reality shows I watch are HGTV. I'm like, ooh, fix her upper, bitch. I am trying to see this cold ass kitchen. Like, give me more of that tile. I love it. Give me more of those noodles. I want to see that. So, does that answer your question?
Yes, Christina, you did answer my question. I do have another question for you.
Yeah.
What when did you notice that you like what was the realization that you weren't loving yourself? Like what was being done or what was not being done that made you realize like I haven't been loving myself.
Honestly, it was a lot of different things, but I remember talking to my therapist about wanting to get back on my social media, work on my like stay consistent with my business page and my YouTube channel, my personal YouTube channel for my stuff. And I was telling her a lot of the reasons why I physically did not feel comfortable being in front of the camera, or even things internally that I just didn't feel comfortable putting myself out there. And I was going in on myself. And she said something to me about the lies that I tell myself. I don't
Mhm.
really want to get fully into it because it is like a lesson from therapy and like a jewel that was given to me. But I'll just say um, what she said to me hit me in the gut. And I was like, ooh, girl, I'm gonna have to sit with that and really work on that. And so, um, it hit me and it just really made me realize like I really don't love myself. I don't give myself credit. I don't give myself the grace that I deserve. And so I think that, and then just like looking in the mirror physically. I know we've been in, like, I'm very comfortable with like my weird ass clothes that I wear around the house, but there were other parts where I was just really like letting myself go, like, whatever.
Yeah.
And that's okay because it's going to happen again. You have to give yourself grace, but also find that healthy balance of still loving and taking care of yourself
Mhm.
internally and externally. So,
Mhm.
yeah. What about you?
Um which part where we were talking about where we're at in the journey, or are you asking me the same
Yeah, well,
question I just
we're
asked
same
you?
thing. Everything.
All of it,
Where
all of it.
all of it.
Um, Look, I'm like, let me look at the question again. So, where I'm at in this moment in time and in my journey, I would say I'm pretty far along in my journey because I've been on a healing journey for shit, probably it's 2021. I want to say maybe since seriously, maybe since 2015, taking it seriously the past
Mhm,
3 years.
mhm,
Actually, since my panic attack, um, slash mental breakdown, you know, back at the
mhm,
end of 2017. So, where I'm at is I'm in the exploration of me phase, is that
mhm,
I would say, and exploring like me and like who I am and what things actually mean to me.
mhm,
Like I said before, I'm exploring what love is like, like what does it mean or look like to love myself? What does it mean or look like to love my family? What does it mean or look like to love my friends? What does it mean or look like to love my future partner?
mm,
Like
mhm,
just really just
mhm,
exploring all of that as well as reparenting myself and
mhm,
doing a lot of shadow work and inner child healing and everything. So I'm in the grunt and like really the nitty gritty of my healing.
mhm,
For sure. I am not at a point to where I fully love myself. I wouldn't say that I don't love myself at all right now, but I don't think it's where it should be or could be.
mhm,
Like even when you
mhm,
just had mentioned earlier, just even about you like looking in the mirror, like it's hard for me to look in the mirror. Like I don't
mhm.
know if you or anyone else who's listened who has like looked in the mirror and you just don't see anything. Like I've done that like
What do you
several
mean?
times. Have you ever like just looked in the mirror and like looked in your own eyes?
Mm, yes.
Yeah, like I've done that, but it's like I just felt like I didn't see anything.
Mhm.
Like I didn't see
So is that
myself.
part of your
So
self-exploration that you're on, you think? Because you want is it something you're searching for internally to see?
yeah, I'm searching for Amber right now.
Mhm,
Yeah, because Amber's lost. Like I don't know where sis is at, but sister girl is lost.
and when do you think that that happened? Like, when did you realize that? What was it that made you realize that?
E I think I realized this probably like when I had my mental breakdown.
Mhm,
In all honesty, and I've had that I deal with depression, so like I got diagnosed with um which I'm open and comfortable talking with. So I got diagnosed with depression, ADHD, and PTSD.
mhm,
And so of course just within these 3 years, like I've had what I like to I don't episodes, stints or whatnot of depression, but I I realized it, I think more so recently, maybe like last year where I'm like, I don't I'm not me anymore. But I then so that's what I just kept saying and knowing. Like I didn't know what it actually meant, but I just kept saying like I'm not me anymore.
mhm,
And then I started, prior to that, like, when I was in Denver, like I was this huge extrovert, this, like huge extrovert, always at all of the events, doing a lot of community work. Like my face was
mhm,
out there, my name was out there, like I was really out there. I
mhm,
was at the clubs, like,
mhm,
used to go out. Like I was really out there, like myself was out there. And now being out here in Atlanta, like I'm in complete isolation. Like I have social anxiety, like everything like after my panic attack has completely like 180 me,
Change.
like
Mhm.
seriously, like, so there's a lot that has changed. And so I have, on a few different occasions, it's hard to answer your question, and this is why, because there's a lot of questions that I'm still trying to answer for myself. Like, for instance, like, I after my mom had passed, like, was I being so extroverted and like out there because I was trying to run from the grievance process, Like,
Mhm.
was that
Mhm.
I don't even know. I'm still trying to figure out, like, was that really me, or was that Amber who was running and hurt and trying to avoid dealing with all that? And is
Mhm.
this the real Amber? You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? But so
Mhm.
that's why I'm like, I'm trying to figure out, like, which one is, like, what's Amber? Is it in a balance and stuff? And then of course, I recently, like a week or two ago, um I was I don't know if I was watching something or was just in conversation, and something anytime I'm talking to somebody, watching something, anything triggers me, and I'm always in my own planet and stuff,
Mhm.
and then questions just start arising. But I just started I might have been reading my inner child workbook that I like working in or anything, but I really like had have this question of like, you know, when did I break? You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like, from dealing with
Mhm.
childhood traumas, like, when was it like all good in my innocence? And then, like, at what moment did I break? Like, did the child Amber
Mhm. Mhm.
like break? And I'm like, so that's something else that, I'm like thinking about and exploring as well. So,
Mhm. That part's very interesting because I had been asking myself that question a while ago, and it was more so I was asking myself, at what point in my childhood or in my life did what was the event that really just stole my innocence,
mhm,
stole part of my childhood, and my inner self belief that I could achieve the things that I wanted to. Because there was a point in my life, and I know the events that took place. And it's funny because tomorrow is the anniversary of one of those events. On Valentine's Day in fifth grade, something happened to me from a family member physically. And it just, the words that were said to me and the actions were things that really shook my world and changed me. And that was in the fifth grade. And it was just I entered into middle school a whole different individual. At that point, my whole thought process and a lot had just changed. And the things that I believed in myself, it was just it was no longer there. And so it's important, I think, too, now that you said, you're doing that work, it's important to retrace those moments and steps because for me, I'll say I blamed myself for a lot of things and a lot of decisions. And it's
mhm,
but it's not your fault. I think it is our responsibility as adults to take care of our mental health. If there are things that we know that are affecting our lives or other people's lives, that we need to take control of that. It's hard for some to get to that point, but I just feel like for me personally it was my responsibility to take control, but to also forgive myself. These events happen to you and you didn't ask for them to happen to you when you were a child, and so forgive yourself because that's the state of mind that I was operating from. It's like my therapist told me I've been in survival mode. And it's it's
mhm,
true. For you not possibly dealing with the passing of your mother and making sure that you're out there. It's just not wanting to sit and, process, not having her, here with you.
mhm.
So, how do you feel now that you're going through this process and answering or asking yourself those questions?
Um, I feel anxious And I'm very like right now my mindset, like I'm very like I feel like I'm like a realist but like pessimistic like at the same time. So
Mhm.
of course, and it might be naturally, it might be the way that my brain is currently functioning right now, but of course I just sit here, I'm like, okay, well, can you really get through all this? Like, are you really gonna sit down and take the time to actually face the shit that is in front of you? Because it's a lot of shit and it just seems like this like giant like that, and it's just like that's just right in front of me like with so much. Because then, I learned too, like going further along into my healing journey, like, you think, "Okay, I got past this, that's gonna move," and it's like, you get over
Mhm.
one thing or get through, sorry, not over, you get through one thing, and it's like fucking 5 other things, like, come up
Waiting
in
there
front of
for
you,
you.
and it's just like,
Yes.
I got to a point too, where I want to say at the beginning of the year, it might have been like a week or two into January, where I wanted to give up on healing. Like,
Mhm.
yes, I do feel like it's imperative, but like I'm like I was just so like exhausted, like just
Mhm.
really tired because of course I'm dealing with these mental health issues and everything, but then you're just feeling, that you're trying to force yourself to, or I'm trying to force myself at this point, like, to move along, but I was just tired, just
Mhm.
so tired, and I just kept thinking like, when am I gonna just be at a point, like, I don't believe in like happiness or anything, but just like to where I have like more moments of joy, or where I'm like a little bit more content and I don't feel like I'm being overwhelmed or swallowed with trauma, hurt, pain, sadness, depression, like none of that. Like, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So I was at that point, but um now I'm a little bit more optimistic, and
Mhm.
I'm at a point now in time, and currently to date, where just taking it day by day, honestly.
Mhm.
Like, I
Mhm.
had a moment, I would say, like this week, where I was overwhelmed, like, with work, and then just having, like, these like ruminating thoughts, which is just like racing thoughts and stuff, and just like personal stuff. And I just had this moment of being like overwhelmed, and it did trigger a moment of depression. Like, it didn't last, like, like before or anything, but like the next day, I remember, like, the next day I had got up and I was like, okay, like, I woke up and I'm like, okay, Amber, get up, and today's a new day.
Mhm.
Let's just try this again. So
Mhm.
now that's been like my mindset. And um, even back to your point of when you were talking about how, like, you have to watch what you're watching and putting like into you, like, I am a firm believer in that, but I was also one of those who could sleep with the TV on. But lately I've noticed it's becoming harder and harder and harder for me to be sleep with the TV on.
Mhm. Mhm.
Like, it does something to me.
Mhm. Hmm.
So that's like one thing I'm noticing. So yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Well, it's definitely all a process, and it's easier for me, I'll say, to take it day by or chunk by chunk, little by little. Like, I
Mhm.
just try. I think we all try to tackle it, like look at it, and it's like this big old problem, and tackle it all. And it's like, okay, I got to take all this, and it's like, but I'm only one person, and I can only take so much, and I already have a lot going on, so I'm gonna take slices and slices and start building upon that. Like, I'm working on my credit, and just reading different articles, like I said, educating myself on more that I want to know about. And they say, start paying down your bills like the snowball method. Start with your smallest bills and keep building it up and building up until your bigger bills. And also, you're starting to build habits within yourself, financially, where you're starting to look at money differently and make different decisions. But it's like with life, it's like I gotta snowball this. I can't take all this on. I'm gonna have to take little by little and take chunks out and hopefully build upon that and
Mhm.
just keep going from there, and doing the best that I can and giving yourself that grace.
No, for sure.
Hmm.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I definitely think there's more for us to dive into, with this topic because it brings up so much.
Girl. What?
Like we can deep dive
Deep
into that
dive,
more and
girl,
more.
okay? We're gonna be
Hmm.
doing a whole bunch of deep diving on this
Hmm.
show. For
Hmm.
sure.
Hmm.
I know, and I just want to take a moment to say, like, I'm really grateful
Hmm.
for this show, and that even though it's been 3 years, like, it's just come full circle still.
Hmm.
And because I know, like, I personally just needed, and I kept saying, like, I need an outlet, I need an outlet, I need an outlet, because I wasn't doing, like, doing anything, like, for me, for myself. I need an outlet, just to use my voice, just to do something for me and everything. But I'm definitely grateful that we're still, even after 3 years, are
Hmm.
aligned
Hmm.
in doing this, even though, we did take that break and didn't just like let it fall to the
Hmm.
wayside.
It's never too late. If that's what you want to do, then go get it. Like, so I've been
Hmm.
telling myself, like, I stepped away from my social media for a long time and haven't posted. And I posted the other day and I just got so much love. And even if I didn't, it's like, so what? Like, I'm still going to continue on because this is what I want to do. Like, I'm not seeking that outside validation or any of that shit. Like,
Hmm.
who's here for it will be here and who's not, will not. And that's fine. Like,
Hmm.
it's a part of life and accept that. And it's like, don't even take that shit personal. Ain't got nothing to do with me.
No, for sure. For sure, for
Yeah.
sure. Well, thank
Yeah.
you. That
Yes.
was a
Thank
great that was a
you.
great conversation.
Hmm.
Great conversation. Okay.
Hmm.
So now it's time for our next segment. Which clearly, these main topic segments or these deep dives could get a little bit heavy. So to follow it up, do something a little bit lighter and a little bit more fun. We will be having family game night. Woo woo.
Woo, woo, woo. And we used to do this on the show before. So
We
this is
did.
something that
Why
actually stayed.
it did stay, but I like why for the life of me I cannot remember. I also, admittedly did not take the time to figure out what the hell the game was called, the card game that we used. It was not Black
Hmm.
Card Revolt.
I
It
don't
was
remember, but we
something
got a new
else.
one.
It was Derek Jackson's card game, but I can't remember what it is. But we do have a new one which is also by a black woman. Um,
E.
yes, and it's called We Are Not Really Strangers.
All right.
Yeah.
Where did
Maybe
you
on the
get it
next.
from?
It was a gift.
All right. But y'all can go look for it, Google it if
So
you
it,
want
yes, it is
it.
called We Are Not Really Strangers.
Okay.
I do not at the moment. The next episode, I will have more information about where you can find it and who the creator of this game
Are
is.
there
Because
cards?
yes, they are.
What do
They're
they look
cards.
like?
Here, I'm gonna. Yes, sorry for those watching on our tube of the U.
Okay. Okay. All right. Tube of the
So
U.
it is a box and there is a top for this as well.
Yeah,
And
we'll
so
show
it's
it. I
three
was just
different
wondering.
stacks. Yes, it's three
Okay.
different stacks. It's in a red box. Oh, let me just hold on real quick. Christina is very like paint the picture, and I'm like,
Yes.
so
You see what
I
I'm
do not
doing. You
know.
see what I'm doing there.
I do see what you're doing. She's trying to paint a picture for not only the ones who are watching us visually, but probably the ones who are also watching us through
I like how you
audio.
caught that. I
But
like how you caught that.
I'm not good
What
at
does it
that,
look like, Amber?
Christina.
Are they
Oh my
cards?
God. It's
Wow. Show us.
mm,
Thank you. Continue. I'm
it's a
sorry.
hard box.
Okay.
It's red, it's shiny.
Hmm.
Um Anywho, so on the inside there's three different decks. I have
Hmm.
not I'm just gonna say there's only one of these decks that's actually open. If you can see, the other two are still in the
So it's brand
wrapper.
new.
So please don't ask me. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
please do not ask me what anything is.
Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm getting hot if I like bust out a fan.
Yes, she is. So I'm shuffling the cards now. And I think we're gonna do so what we're gonna do on this is it might be this game, it might be Black Card Revoked, it might be some other card games and stuff, but we're gonna play these games, maybe pull like 2 or 3 cards, just depending on like how the conversation is going. We're gonna
Mm-hmm.
ask it. Each of us will answer the card just to start it,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna do this in a timely manner.
Yes, come on. Sorry,
Okay.
adjust myself there. Mm-hmm.
Okay, Christina, are you ready?
I'm ready. Hot and
Okay,
ready.
so the card we have is level 1 perception. I'll explain
Okay.
this on the next episode because I need to find the instructions, which I don't have in front of me. So,
All right, let's
okay,
just go with it.
okay. Ooh, Christina, so you're gonna answer this about me, and I'm gonna answer this about you. You ready?
Do I have to go first?
Yeah, because I'm asking the question.
All right. Need a Snickers? Need a Snickers?
No, I need a shot.
Right. Okay. I'm
You
ready.
ready?
Let's go. Yeah.
Do you think I fall in love easily? Why or why
No.
not? Bitch, can I finish it? Damn. No, like, god damn. My friends, y'all see, like, damn. Okay, why or why not?
Because I know you. I didn't need you to finish the question. No, you don't. Amber is let
Be honest, it's
me
okay.
let me have my word.
It's
I'm
okay.
searching. I'm searching the Rolodex. Amber don't love these niggas. And that's I mean, she has a lot of love. Let me put let me straight. Let me see. She has a lot of love for her friends and for her people in her circle. Like she is one of the most loving friends that I've ever had. So she is very giving and loving. But when it comes to these niggas, like she doesn't have you don't like I'm saying she doesn't like you're not here, but you don't have like you're not into like the whole traditional ways of, you know, dating and relationships and things like that. I think that it would take not a lot because I don't even want to say a lot because you're not asking for a lot. But are you picky? No,
No,
I don't
I
think
don't
that you're
think.
picky.
No, I don't think I definitely don't think I'm picky. And look, now I need to switch my AirPod if finally.
Hmm. Welcome to the club. Yeah, no, I don't think that you're picky. You just don't fall in love very easily. Like you are very comfortable, I think, being by yourself. And if somebody comes along and fits into the picture, into what you're looking for, and is consistent and is respectful and loyal, you know, and open and honest with you, then it'll work out. If it doesn't, then it's just like whatever. Like I'm not tripping. Like you don't have a lot of hangups and like hold on to like the sadness when it comes to things not working. It's just like it is what it is.
Yeah, which is something else that I'm dealing with on my
Am I
healing
right?
journey as to why.
Am
Yeah.
I kind of right?
Yeah. No,
Like,
you're right. I
I'm waiting
don't. Like,
for your reaction to my answer. I'm like, I feel like I'm all over the place with this.
let's talk about that on the main topic another day.
Okay.
Let's do a deep
Okay.
dive. Okay. So our main topic is now going to be called deep dive.
Okay.
We'll do
Hmm.
a deep dive into that.
Okay.
I would say like for both of us. To answer the question about
Answer
you,
the question about
no.
yourself first.
No, I'm supposed to answer about you. No, I
Okay.
don't. You're right. That's what I'm saying. I'm answering it. Like Christina's right. Like you're fully right.
Okay. I'm just like, I just wanted to see where I was at.
No, I don't. This is what I fall in lust easily and I fall in care easily.
Mm.
Like I easily will care about somebody, but like falling in love, like, oh, that's deep.
That's a lot. You asking a
That's
lot.
real. I feel like okay. I feel like with being in love, not loving, well, just loving someone too, but for real, with being in love with someone, and I would say in love because usually you use in love when it's an intimate or romantic relationship. Am I right?
Yes. I
Because
mean,
you as my
everyone has
friend,
their
I
own
wouldn't say
definition.
I'm in love with you.
Definitely, yeah.
Right.
I'm in love
So
with you, Amber.
I mean, I love you dearly, like for real, like you know what
From
I'm
the
saying.
bottom.
But usually, I'm gonna say usually in those instances and stuff, you usually say usually put that in. You preface
Hmm.
the love with the in. Usually when
Hmm.
it's an intimate or romantic relationship or one of the same. But
Hmm.
I feel like with being in love, there's a lot of responsibility that
Hmm.
comes with that.
Hmm. Hmm.
And yeah, like it's not even that I don't even feel like I'm not ready for it, but I just, and again, we'll talk about this like in a deep dive, but I just don't trust people with that, with me.
Hmm.
I don't. So I just don't
So it's a
even,
trust
because
factor.
I don't, it is. Oh, it's a huge, I deal with mistrust abuse that I learned in therapy
Hmm.
through
Hmm.
taking, through taking this test. But yeah, no, I don't trust people with me, because I've
Hmm.
been disappointed a lot. So I just don't even get
Hmm.
my hopes up or get like allow myself to be vulnerable, to that point. Like
Hmm.
I keep a guard up at some level, like, it might
Hmm.
move back like an inch, but to fully let somebody, you
And
know, in and this like close to me, like for real, my bubble.
have you
I'm
ever
not
been in
like you
love?
have to work for that. No,
Hmm.
no. When I really sit back and think about it, I might have thought I was in love, like, last time I was in a relationship was in high school.
Hmm.
So that's about like 15 years
Hmm.
ago,
Like a
so I
traditional
probably,
relationship.
yeah, let's
Hmm.
say like, my boyfriends or that I thought was my boyfriend or something. So I probably like thought I was in love and everything. And who knows, I probably was. I don't know, but
Hmm.
that just, ended up in disappointment completely. So that's why I question if I was actually in love or not.
Hmm.
But since then, no. And that's why I'm like, I don't think I've ever been in love before.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. To answer the question for you, do I think you fall
Ask
in
ask
love?
the question one more time.
That's what I'm
Oh, you were
saying.
doing it. My bad.
Do I think that you fall in love easily? Why or why not?
Hmm.
I don't think you fall in love easily. Um, why? I do feel like you've been in love before, but I don't feel like it's like that easy. Like I have friends who admittedly will say like I fall in love easy. Like if they spend time with a nigga or someone like
Hmm.
consistently for 3 months, it's like I'm in love. And it's like,
Like,
whoa,
bitch, you're
you
doing a lot.
you are the type, you like in knowing you and stuff, you're the type that it's like you have to earn it. Like,
Hmm.
you have to be consistent, you have to earn it and everything. But I don't think it's an easy process for anybody just to be like, I'm in love with this nigga
Hmm.
at all.
Hmm.
Like you, yeah. And
Hmm.
you're closed off too, you know?
Hmm. Hmm.
Just in knowing being friends, like, I just because
Hmm.
I know us, I know our conversations and stuff. So there's some things that we relate to. But
Hmm.
what I feel like with you, maybe you probably a little bit more open than me, just a little bit.
Just slightly. And it's
Yeah, just
very
on a more
little.
traditional, just very slightly, like just
Very.
like where you're like, oh yeah, I want this. And I'm like, bitch, please.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever been in love before?
Um, like I think about a relationship I was in about 10 years ago, and I thought I was in love with that person, if you know who I'm talking about. And I was not. It was just more of like I was in love with the idea of us being together because
Hmm.
this is someone who I grew up with and I never like was my best friend for or one a good friend I'll say for years that turned into a relationship and I was young and so I was like, yep, we're going to get married. We're about to have kids. Like it's about to be like I found the one. This is the love of my life. He been here this whole time. So no, like I thought I was in love with him. That was just some young shit. And I guess the other there's two other people that I question, but
Yeah.
I think it's just like you said, with me, I have trust issues as well that stem from daddy issues. Like, let's just be real, and then
Hmm.
also just relationships that I've been in before in the past. I just don't trust men with my feelings. Like, I don't trust the things that are being said to me. Like, I believe some of it to an extent, but the other half, I'm like, I'm really not about to get sucked up into this because I know
Hmm.
like it's a bunch of bullshit that you're giving me, and I'm gonna soak some of it up because it's cute or like, okay, it's like my little boo or bae or whatever. But other than that, I'm just
You just take
like
it at face
boy,
value, or take it for a
exactly,
with a grain of salt. Like,
exactly. And also, like you said, I'm not. I I remember going to the club like when I used to party, like I would purposely look like at it, like don't approach me. It was like just fucking leave me alone. But like I'm here to have a good time with my friends. Like leave me the fuck alone. And it was like part of a defense mechanism thing, I think, for me because I didn't want to be talked to. Like I did, but I didn't because I didn't trust it. And I was like, you're gonna end up coming in trying to fuck me or whatever and break my heart. And I'm just like, nope, like stay away. So they're just like, again, I'll get more into that in a deep dive because I haven't really touched a lot of those topics with my therapist and I've been thinking about it more. I think part of it is me. So I've been single officially. I was in a long distance relationship with a lad who lives in Atlanta. I will say Amber by way sort of introduced me to a location, a business that led me to this relationship. And it was the last time that I was in Atlanta, or one of the last times. And we were off and on again for like a couple years, not to get all deep into it, but like we broke up January of last year. And I think I'm at a point too, being in quarantine and being by myself, it's like
hmm
a bit of that loneliness. So I'm just like starting to think about like this other guy and I'm just like, oh, I miss him, blah blah blah. Where I wonder, but
hmm
yeah, I just have trust issues and
same, sis.
yeah. And also now that I'm like in this, like I'm in this healing journey. I'm learning more about myself. So I also am not 100% sure on what it is that I want or what I'm looking for. Like, do I want to be in a relationship? Do I want this? Like, I know I want a family eventually and I want to have kids. I'm getting older. So I'm like, but
Yeah.
I don't know what I want. And so it's like, I'll just stay by myself.
Welcome, girl. Welcome.
Welcome, girl. Welcome.
Next. Okay. This is a little bit more light.
Hmm.
Do you think I'm usually early, on time, or late to events? Explain.
We haven't been to a lot of events together.
But what do you think
Um,
though? What would you take me as?
I would take you as on time. Maybe a few minutes, like maybe like a few minutes late. Like I'll even give you a time. Like maybe like you need an extra 30 minutes.
Hmm.
But I would take you as on time. Yeah. So like
Yeah.
on the last event we went to together, where was that the concert when I came out there?
Yeah. And weren't we late to that? We was late to that.
Bitch, we were so fucking late. And remember
We were
it was
late. I
like
think we caught the end
that.
of Schoolboy Q's set.
Yes, in that theater. So the last time me, Amber, and I went to an event together was the TDE Championship Tour, you guys, and I
In
feel like that was
Atlanta.
my
It was
yeah in
in
Atlanta.
May.
That was my first time coming to Atlanta.
Mhm.
Yes, and that was in May of 2018.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, yes, and we were late. We had to walk a good ways because the Lyft driver could not get too close because there's a lot of fucking traffic. So remember, we had to walk to the theater.
Yeah, which is why that traffic is what made us late.
Yep.
And then even walking and then trying to find the VIP entrance because we buy VIP tickets.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
And
In
then
like
trying to
30
go
minutes.
get us a drink before
You know,
we
we got to
got
do
to the
that. I
seat.
need a drink. I need a drink. Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
What about me?
I think it just depends, but I would say late.
I was like, you might as well go and say it. It's okay. That's me. Like, I be running late.
I'm like, I hope
I'm
they
on the
gonna be
way.
offended because let me tell you, this bitch be late. No, she is a
I come.
stereotypical nigga. Be on her CP motherfucking time. Okay, she be on like fuck a color people time. She be on Christina's motherfucking time.
I'm on my
Okay,
CP.
like
Christina people time.
listen, she be on her own motherfucking time. Okay, and that's because the second part of this was to explain this is
Hmm.
just why I picture that you're late because if you're going anywhere, you have to be completely in a mental mindset like to deal with whatever's going on. And in order for you to get in that mindset, like you just have to be fully prepared. If it's something where you got to get dressed, like you need to be dressed, but then it's like, okay, this bitch needs to smoke, she might need to drink, she might need to make sure she eat. Like, does she drink enough water? Does she got Bucky with her? Like, where is
You know what I'm
Bucky?
saying? This is update. This is a thermal joint, a hydro flask. I was say Bucky. Shout out to anybody watching in Texas. That's what Bucky's is. That's what Amber's referring to. Bucky's. I had a little Bucky's cup.
Like you just that's why no matter you know like I just feel like you like no matter what time it is, it's like you're not gonna rush your process to get to somewhere on time. Like
I'll fucking be
you're
there when I
gonna
get there.
you will because it's like, but you know what you're gonna be there and be like, okay, cool, like I could have fun and stuff because all my needs have been met.
Let's go. I smoked. I had hella water. I ate. I had me a dance party. I'm looking good and I'm high. So let's go. You're absolutely right, Amber. Actually, you painted the picture very well. When I was bald though, and I had no hair, I was always late, like going out. And my
I
friends used to
never
be so
understood that.
mad,
I
like,
remember that because how?
bitch, you have no hair. Like, you have a solid fade. You just got a fresh cut. Like, your shit is crispy. All you need to do is do your makeup and get the outfit. Why are you so late? And it's because I like to DJ when I'm getting dressed. So, like, I got to switch, like, keep my music popping. I'm also smoking. I usually traditionally smoke by the time I get to my eyebrows. I don't know why, but I like to smoke during that time. I also stop and stand at and like just stare and I just be getting lost in the other stuff. So then it's like, okay, now I can leave. I'm good. But you're absolutely right. I don't like rushing because it's like I should get better. I'm getting better with my time. And luckily I don't have anywhere to be. Like I don't got nowhere to fuck to be. But like I need to get better because it's not a good habit to have, like showing up late and just having that. But I don't like rushing the shit because like I'm gonna have an attitude because I didn't get to do everything. So it's like it's about to be whack.
Listen, mine it just depends, honestly. Like I'd be late to shit that okay, I'm gonna admit this and yes, this has had to go out into the universe. But
Hmm.
if it's something, I'm just gonna be honest and I'm just like, okay, like it's nothing that's like a high level of priority or importance to me, then
Mm,
I just am like, oh, okay, cool. Like I can just show up like when I show up. I try not to be super mad fucking late, but
hmm.
I will at least communicate that I'm gonna be late.
That you're running late.
And just be
I
like,
was gonna
listen,
say,
I will communicate. I do communicate. If it's like
hmm
super depend and then it's also like for me, I'm just gonna be completely honest.
hmm
Depending on who I'm meeting and what it's for will determine If I'm on time or late, I ain't even
So,
gonna sit here and lie. I'm just
right?
gonna be honest.
Wait, when we were in LA, I met Amber last summer, you guys. No, damn, it's gonna be 2 years. I met Amber in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was June or July of 2019. I came and
No,
met
wait,
Amber.
what award show? It was BT.
Yes, it
Yeah,
was that
yeah.
weekend. And I met Amber out in LA, and Amber had somewhere to be, and I was staying in the room. And I remember you were getting dressed. And you threw on them shoes because you
What
were
shoe?
about to be running late because I think your driver was going to be there soon, and you were like, oh, "Fuck it, I'm gonna throw on these goddamn shoes and leave." And
What
you like the
shoes did I
whole
throw on?
you had on some flats or something that you was like,
I was in my
you did
Gucci
not
slides.
know.
It wasn't the Gucci girl. Who knows? I just be listen. There's
Yeah,
sometimes
I
when I
don't
just
know.
get to a point, I'm like, fuck it, just put these on.
Yeah, yeah.
Christina would not have done that. She'd be like, no, it has to be right because she's very fashionable too. So it's just like,
Mm,
nah, I gotta make sure. Christina would not have just been like, fuck it, I'm gonna just put these on. Christina ain't gonna do that.
yeah, that's also part of a deep dive. Talking about always having to look good, but shit ain't sitting right on the inside. But that's another
Ooh.
day. So yeah.
Write
Anyway,
that
moving on.
down.
Right. Write that down. Well, the game was fun.
The game was fun.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
so that's
yes.
the end of family game night, and we're not really strangers.
We're
Try
not
this at
really
home with your
strangers.
friends
Yes, order that game. Have fun.
or your
But
partner,
yes.
your spouse, whatever.
hmm So that is the episode, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This, I will say, Amber and I are discussing on if this episode is going live. We're calling this our scrimmage. I'm gonna just put that out there. We are testing everything out, making sure everything's good, but we are still showing up and doing this job and doing this show because this is our outlet. This is what we wanted to do, and it's fun for us to come together and put this show together for you guys. For me, I know I'll say personally, I just want to give back and like helping with being honest with self and talking about the whole process and the journey and just, make the world needs to see more of us talking about our mental health or our journeys and all of that. So you can catch us back. We are going to be a bi-weekly show. So just want to put that out there so you guys are not checking back like, hold up, I know these bitches aren't gone again. Y'all come back next week. We are not. We are bi-weekly. So make sure you tune in. Also, our email, if you have any questions, anything you want us to talk about, anything, please feel free to email us at theshugahoney@gmail.com. That is THESUGAHONEY@gmail.com. And yes, Amber, feeling good about it?
I am. I'm feeling really
Anything you'd
good,
like to
and I'm
leave the people
happy to
with?
be back. No, I'm just really happy to be back. So definitely will catch you next time.
Definitely. Peace.
Peace.